All right, we're live, right? Hello everybody. This is it's Thursday, December 12th, or Friday, December 13th, depending on which part of the world you are. And this is the weekly, is it the design meeting? Sorry, team. Yep, the bi-weekly design meeting for Backdrop CMS. Before we start the actual meeting, we go around and do some quick introductions. I'll start with myself. I'm Greg. I'm usually in Melbourne, Australia, but now currently joining from central Greece. I've been away from the community, not having the capacity for several weeks or months now. So I'm trying to catch up with what's happening. There's an upcoming release for January 15th, for which the feature freeze is the start of the year, Gen 1. I'll try to dedicate some time as much as I can to that, and I'm trying to, in the meantime, to catch up with what's been happening. So that's for me. Let's go with Martin next.
Hi, I'm Martin Price, Yorkshire Pudding Round Backdrop, I'm a developer in Northeast England. We'll go with Olaf, unless it's already been. I've just stepped away for a minute.
Hi, I'm Olaf from Hamburg in Germany, and maybe joining only for a few minutes because I have other stuff to do, but yeah, hello.
I'll go ahead. My name's Tim Erickson. I'm in Deerwood, Minnesota. And yeah, it's been a busy time. Looking forward to this next release. A lot of interesting things going on. I don't know. Oh, Nate, unmuted. Are you going to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'll go too. I'm Nate Lampton. I'm a quick sketch and core committer for the Backdrop project. And yeah, I'm just lurking in on this meeting. So, hello.
Hey, Tim or Timothy Cannon, are you available to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Tim Cannon from Kansas City. Just kind of listening in.
Great. Okay, we are having a design UX meeting today. I have not sort of specifically prepared for this meeting. There is one issue sort of held over. Well, first of all, Olaf, is there any particular issue you'd like to address if you're not going to be here very long?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Well, in the we're coming right after the weekly dev meeting, which went through a whole list of issues that have been seeing some active development. One of them, I think, is a significant UX issue that we didn't get to in the last meeting, and it might be good to talk about here. That is, I'm going to share my screen quick. Simplify the various login pages so they look less busy and dated. And Greg, I hope you're available right now because your help is going to be needed. I'm going to go ahead and
I'm familiar with the issue. It's just that I haven't touched it in a while, and I know that I had So most recent updates I'm not caught up with, but yeah, please go.
Well, I can kind of explain to you how I think the difference is, and then maybe you can help out. So this is what you might have missed, Greg, is that there's been a lot of progress on this issue, the simplifying the various login pages, and basically, sort of making the login pages look like this. To be honest, I'm not quite sure. This is an example with a logo in it.
Yeah, I like it.
A screenshot I took. And then one of the things that came up was, what about the register page to create a new account? And so we did an example of what that would look like the same way. Exactly. Now I know in the other issue that's related, I think it's talking, there was discussion about, well, let's just open up the other issue and look quickly at it. It's remove tabs. Okay. Well, then this, I mean, fundamentally, it seems to me like it's the same issue. It might be that there were different approaches being taken in each one. I mean, certainly
Is it related?
this one removes the tabs, right?
Right.
So it accomplishes what at least the initial stated purpose of this was. I know we had discussions about whether there should be a layout or something else. Does anybody know what solution Doc Wilmot took?
It
in
might
this-
make the second issue moot, but depending on what solution we're coming up. So we replaced the tabs with links in the current implementation of this, correct?
Yes.
Right. So yeah.
Yes, there's no tabs in it. So I didn't even look that close. I was concerned that there might have been a bigger difference between the issues.
Can you please scroll down to see screenshots of this one? Because I'm sure that there might be. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Well, that's a before, and this was like a suggestion of what it would look like after. I think the new thing does look sort of like this.
like this. Yep. Okay, yeah, we might need to close that. Two birds with one stone, sort of like, yeah.
Yeah, so it might be that there isn't, although the thing was at the end of this, Doc Wilmot, who's been doing the work on the PR, made a comment here about there were two issues, one to remove login tabs, one to simplify. And he said there are two different issues with different solutions. And I guess that's what I need to better understand is what the difference between the two are. Is anybody here? Olaf, you've spent a little time on this issue. Do you understand the difference between these two?
No, not really.
Okay.
I think the one with the more activity in the last time is the more relevant, but I'm not absolutely sure. So,
well, yes.
So
I
basically,
guess I was just concerned that that this one might do something that conflicted with the goal of this one. And if it did,
I think it's the opposite. Sorry, Tim. I think it's the
Okay.
opposite. It overlaps if we go with the current implementation.
okay.
It overlaps and makes it duplicate, I guess, or unnecessary.
Sure, because this one was focused just on the tabs, whereas
Yep.
this one is looking at the whole page.
Yes.
Okay, so that does make sense that this would be the more comprehensive one. So if we like this one, there's really no need to worry about this one, right?
Yep. Yeah. But let's not close the second one until we have sort of like settled and merged whatever solution we have, so we can decide
Okay.
then.
We could ask Doc Wilmot to clarify what he thinks the difference between the solutions are. Did he do both? Oh, let's see, who did the other PR? That's also his PR, so
Yep.
he should be able to speak to that, like what the difference between them are. And but there seems to be, this is the one that's gotten a lot of activity, and Doc Wilmot has been doing some work on. So I would prefer to focus on this one. I just wanted to be sure that we didn't like keep putting work into this one only at the last minute to realize that this one caused a problem. But it sounds like it probably won't. So. Okay, well, that was the only question I had about this issue. Anybody
So are
else?
is the current implementation changing new installations and leaving, because I see that the title says provide a backwards compatible opt-in for older sites, I'm assuming. So is this the new style for newly installed sites, the new style that we end up with? We should be able to tell if we spin up the
Yeah.
testing. Yes. Or actually, no, if someone has flipped the switch, we won't be able to tell.
That's true. It's wait. What did I just do? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you click the issue instead of you click the link to the issue instead of the link to the sandbox.
Okay, this is the sandbox, right? So if I click on that, there we go. That should take me to the sandbox. And let me.
I think that's for the second. Is that for the second issue?
Oh. Remove login tabs. Yeah. What did I do wrong there? Because I'm on this page.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's the name of the PR for this issue. Simplify the various login pages. This is the one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This is the one we've been working on. It's just that's how Doc will not
It's
name
titled.
it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So let's go back to this.
Oh, I've done quite some reviewing in the past for this one, so yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I think quite a bit of work has been done on it. So.
Yep.
Oh,
So
but
this is the
that's-
yeah, that's still okay, yeah. But this
Oh,
might
maybe-
be someone. Yeah.
maybe it has a turn on feature.
Yes, exactly. And this is what I was asking, which one is the default?
Okay, so what's been happening lately is that this needs to be rebased. Even though it's
Right.
only 5 days old, we can't use the sandbox because it needs to be rebased.
So
This is-
closing and reopening the thing doesn't work, right?
I don't think so. Normally not for these problems. But I can try that just in case, but I don't think it's going to help. Laren and Herb have both rebased and restarted PRs for me in the last 48 hours because of the same problem. So, I mean, this sandbox has only been up 5 days, and it's already out of date and can't be used. It's like our sandboxes are becoming, especially around at this time of the process when things are getting committed. Like, I think the problem is that Nate just made a commit last night, and so that now all the PRs need to be rebased or sandboxes. I don't know if you're listening, Nate, but
Yeah, I'll fix it for you, but it'll
Okay.
take a minute.
well, you're going to fix this one, but we should
Right.
systematically think about how to avoid this. Because if there's some way, we didn't used to have this problem.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why it started happening.
Right. Okay.
It's the same as the problem that crept in where we can't install modules anymore in the sandboxes. I think it'll work. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No. I think Olaf brought that up recently. Okay. Well, we're waiting to see if Nate can rebase this for us.
Okay.
In the meantime,
Yeah, we can move on.
okay. Well, I started to make an agenda, but that's really not relevant. This list.
Is it 1 second? Is this pull request 4765?
My apologies. 4750.
Okay. 50.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, it's rebuilding.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, it usually doesn't take long, so why don't we just wait a second?
Yep.
Anybody hasn't done this before, we can watch it dynamically appear here. I don't think I have to refresh the page, do I? Well, we
You
did
might.
it. Oh, I did. I refreshed the page. That's, I don't know if I had to do that, but I did. Let's first close these two tabs.
Refresh.
So,
So yeah, it answers my question. It's not on by default from what I see.
yeah, but where would that setting be, do you think? Login settings?
Greg,
Yes.
I just opened the PR and it is on default.
I don't know. Now that we tried to log in, it didn't. And if you scroll down all the way down to the page where you are, team, there's one that says use tabs and it's unticked. So there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Greg,
why did it not work for me?
Gregory?
Yep.
I don't know.
Well, there,
Because
this
I
time,
just one second after I went to this page and I got this screen out of the box, so
Or
okay.
maybe
I
it's a
didn't have to
browser
check
cache.
anything.
Yeah. Maybe it's some browser caching on your end.
It
Timmy.
could have been. It could have
Yeah.
been. But yes, now I'm getting this. So this is what this looks like. We've got a reset password link. The little dot seems weird.
Yeah, yeah. So I was there was the first thing that I noticed. And
Mhm.
can you please enable the registration as well if you log in again and enable the registration so we have multiple links or multiple
Yeah.
tabs.
Okay, so we log out, so now we go to log in. There we go. So now
Yeah,
we-
I would prefer if these were horizontal split by a pipe, a horizontal, a vertical line or something like that, rather than bullet points.
Okay.
But yeah,
that seems like a fairly minor change. So this is by default, there was some concern about backward compatibility with things like the profile module. And for people who had done extensive customizations to their forms. But I think Olaf, you were the one who did some screenshots, didn't you? Or was it Bug Folder who
I think bug folder, yeah.
yeah, Bug Folder did this. He put this PR on a site. I think this is like backdrop.org registration form. And this is how it looked. And there is some quirky stuff here, but I think he determined that that quirky stuff was not attributable to this PR. That was there before. So, anyways, is that the only screenshot? Oh, here was one with just like one extra field or two extra fields that Doc Wilmot did. So, and there is the option to turn this off, right? So,
yep.
so if this were a problem with your form, and again, we could verify, but my assumption is that he's only turning this on by default on new sites.
Yep.
Well, he would have to. We wouldn't want to make that change permanently.
Yep.
So, okay. Well, if anybody has any thoughts on why the other issue would conflict with this one, they should let us know. Otherwise, I think we should just proceed with this one.
Can we please go to the settings page where this is being enabled? Like, if you can please log in again.
Yeah.
No, this is creating new account.
Oh. Is it too late? Okay, now I'm on login. Is that a problem that the pages actually, before we go on, should there be something more distinct between them or not?
Well, there's the page title there that says create.
Yeah, I know.
But
I'm
yeah.
just wondering, I obviously didn't notice that, right?
Yeah, maybe it should be more prominent or something like that.
So I'm just thinking about if it was so easy for me to overlook that.
Okay, so if you go to
Okay, so we're going to, I think we decided here it was login settings, right? And it was this one.
Yeah, and there's the idea to use radio buttons instead, because it's a bit quirky with the two checkboxes, one intended, and it's not easy to understand. So there's in the issue discussion a proposal to use radios instead.
Okay, I was never even noticed this. So now we're going to have the regular layout.
Yes.
But without tabs. Oh, well, that's nice. Well, I don't know. Can't imagine why we would want the other issue.
Yes, exactly.
And this is how it's set up here. Create new account. Oh, why is that correct?
Again, browser cache, yeah.
Cache.
Yeah, there it was a cache. Okay.
Yeah, maybe this is something to consider. But this was browser cache, it wasn't.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't realize you could toggle like this part. You could actually bring back. Although, how is this different than just not checking that button? Or because this one doesn't have tabs.
Yes,
if you
tabs are removed, then they're links now instead of
right.
tabs. Yeah.
So this is using the regular layout without tabs. The other one would be using the regular layout with tabs. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not sure. I don't have any specific ideas, but I understand where like the tweaking the way these are set up might be helpful. Yeah. Yeah, you're a little, I don't know, do we do something like this anywhere else where we have,
Yeah, we have we have what you call it, dependent or conditional states showing buttons, but I understand what Olaf said. It's like
Yeah.
confusing.
Well,
Yeah.
I think especially because it's by default, you're seeing both. Like if it started out, like if I checked this and then the other one appeared,
Yeah, because if you use
that might be a little more.
Yeah,
What?
if you use tabs, there's if you untick this checkbox, if you
Mhm.
use tabs, there's no option to hide the layout region. So it does make sense for this to be,
Sure.
yeah.
Yes, but you can also check hide layout regions and then click use tabs. And that's really confusing. So now the other one is checked,
Right.
even if it's not visible.
Okay. So you're saying that if this one is checked, this
Yeah.
is
Check the other one and then it's hidden, but it's still checked.
okay.
And yeah, that's
So
and
what happens?
also look at the text. It's very difficult to understand. I think
Okay.
three radio buttons with a clear text would improve the situation a lot.
Okay. Well, Greg, you seem to have a lot of experience with cleaning up
Yeah.
stuff like this. I'll also look at this and see if I
Yeah.
can make some suggestions. I hadn't really paid much attention to
Yeah,
the settings yet.
If we were close to the feature freeze, I would say leave it sort of like as a follow-up, but we have plenty of time to flesh this out, and it's not
Yeah.
like it's decision making and maybe some mock-ups or
Yeah.
yeah.
There's
Yeah, let's-
one mock-up in the issue,
Okay.
Can we
but
please go to the issue?
I think in 6570, more or less at the bottom, so 5 days ago from Andy.
Oh, here?
All right.
Would it?
Yeah. So it's not perfect because, yeah, use tabs, use links seems clear, but then the simplified page doesn't make clear if it's with tabs or with links. So, but we
Yeah.
can improve that, I think.
Yeah,
Well, I
I'll
would
have a-
assume this means that you. Oh, you're right. Like if I don't select one of those should be selected by default, right?
Yes.
Either use tabs or use links has to be suggested, linked at any time. So,
Yeah, I'll have a think
Okay.
about it and suggest something. I'll play with it to see what the user experience is like, and then I'll suggest something.
okay. Well, I think we've spent enough time on here. If anybody has any thoughts on this is something for people to jump in. Nate's leaving us. Thanks, Nate, for listening in. I guess we didn't really need you.
Yeah, but well, I helped with the sandbox, so that's something.
Yes, you did.
Thanks.
Yep. Okay. Great. Let's I'm looking, make link. I see if any of these are other issues that we didn't talk about in the last meeting are. I don't know if any of these are really UX related. No, I think this one is not. There may be some bug fixes that are UX related. I don't think that's would really consider a UX issue.
Yeah.
Here are some. Well, the message placement would be a great one, but that's really all. It's just dependent on the CSS selectors.
Yep.
Oh, here's a good one. And this is maybe a good group to quickly get some feedback on. I don't remember who opened this. Is Tim. Olaf, you have chimed in on issues like this before, so you might have some thoughts, or maybe you even did on this one. I think somebody else brought this up, that there were some obvious editor permissions that were missing. And it is, I didn't feel strongly about it. I just created a PR, I think, with the proposed permissions for the editor. And really, I mean, the technically this PR is pretty simple. So really the only work to be done here is to decide, you know, does it make sense to give editors these permissions? Access file overview, create files, view own private files. Oh, we lost Olaf.
Yep.
View own files, view files. Does it make sense to give these to editors? To me, it does, but I'm welcoming feedback. And then, is there any others that we should add while we're doing this? This would just affect new sites. The way this is done is in the install profile, we grant default permissions. So the question is, does anybody think that editors should be getting different additional, or I have run into situations where I thought, and I think this files is a classic example.
Yep.
And it looks like Greg and RG Piano are the only two who commented on this yet. So I'd love to hear from at least one or two more people to say, yeah, this makes sense, and or it's missing. You know, we should also give edit. You know, if somebody could just scroll through the editor, the permissions page on a default site and see if there's anything else you think we missed.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Okay. Well, we might just need somebody to give this a works for me then and say that, you know, that they think this this makes sense, and then it, you know, we'll let it go to a core committer. The
only the only thing that this reminds me of is situations where, like, the overlay that everyone thought in Drupal 7 that it was good, and then it got removed. If there was a way to track if the default roles that we ship Backdrop with do not change, if there was a way to track a percentage of how many sites use what permission, and then we saw that 80% of sites actually go in and check these permissions for the editor role, then it would make sense to sort of like, we would have data to back it up, and you wouldn't have to wonder, like you're asking, Tim, can you think of any other permissions that make sense? Because then we would have data to show that, hey, most sites, like 80% of sites, go and enable these things. So let's just do it. But yeah, let's go by hand here, because we don't have the facility to do that.
You know, and again, I believe this wasn't like an issue I came up with. I believe that somebody else brought it up.
Yep.
Actually, it might have been somewhere. Oh, actually, permissions for managing files to the editor's role by default. Why?
So is that a regression? Like we added it
Yeah,
before?
I'm confused. If this was done already, why is this a follow-up issue?
Can you please go to the pull request to see what actually got into the
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, this was added in the standard profile. Yep.
Add base, is it that it? Wait, no, that's this issue. Editor should have permission
to download and edit on all files. The other one was just to access them. To add the permissions to file
but like view own files.
Create and view. Yeah, we are adding. Yeah, this is create and view, and whereas the new issue is to be able to download and edit.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm looking at this like this is what's proposed. That's not what's proposed.
This is what was already added.
In that PR, we did this. Okay. And then basically in this PR, we're adding.
Yeah, another 2 permissions, right?
Yes. I'm a little bit confused about why these are added in a different way. Oh, this is no.
Because we
Okay,
need
let's
to
not
get
get
it,
into this.
No, no,
I'll look, what?
because these permissions are per file type. So they need to be, you need to
Okay.
look through its configured
Got
type.
it.
Con-
Got
right.
it. So that's
Oh,
why
sorry,
it's just
file
not
type.
added to the list. Okay. Okay. Well, that's that issue. I don't think we need to talk about this anymore, other than, again, if people think that anything else is missing, now would be a good time to get it. But I think this should just get, unless it needs somebody else to give it a works for me to get it moving
Yeah.
along.
It has been a year, so it makes sense for these. We can file a follow-up if anyone else thinks of any other permissions. I think my feeling is let's do this, and then
Yeah.
if another one or more permissions come, then we can do it.
Agreed. Okay. Project installer. Well, Greg, I don't know how much time you're going to have, but I would certainly be appreciative if you had a chance to get back to this one. I don't know if it's necessarily a UX one, but this is that. I'll show you the screenshot to remind you. I don't expect you to remember this, but you've done some work on it. This is this one where I'm getting these could not fetch releases for project, blah, blah, blah. And you've twice, I think, tried to fix this, but the fixes haven't worked, or they've.
Right. So the current pull request, is it by me?
I think it is. Yeah, the current pull request is by you. And my last comment, so maybe I'm getting different errors now. Yeah, it looks like it actually got worse.
The recipe, maybe it was specific to the recipe. Maybe when I filed the pull request, I wasn't taking into account the recipes. So maybe it was a use case that I didn't think of. Yeah, I'll try it. I'll try to. Did I make any comments after that?
You just said you'll work on fixing it, and that's it.
Yeah,
That was back in July, and you've been busy since then, so.
Yep. That was when my summer break started, and then all hell broke loose as well.
Yeah.
So,
but basically, I mean, it's not a critical error in the sense that everything still works, prior to your PR, but it gives these warnings that just can be kind of misleading and disorientating. And this is happening for, in particular, my digital agency recipe. Every time somebody uses that, they get this. You know what? Actually, I'm going to add some information. So normally I have sample content recipes. So for like the testimonials recipe comes with a submodule, which is sample content. So when you install the testimonial recipe, you have the option of installing the sample content or not. Okay. The sample content is not required. What has just occurred to me that might be causing this problem is that on the digital agency recipe, I actually require the content because that's kind of, because that's kind of the point of the digital agency recipe. Is so the digital agency requires the testimonial sample content and the project portfolio sample content. And I wonder if the fact that like the submodule is not required by its module, but it's required by this other module, maybe that's what's causing.
It could be the fact that the way that you explained it, maybe I understood it, that the testimonial recipe already includes that module in it, or is it
It's a dependency.
Oh, it's a dependency. Okay.
Yes, when you install the digital agency recipe, it makes the portfolio recipe project a dependency and the sample content module a dependency.
Yeah, but you said the testimonial recipe has a submodule.
Yes, and that's
different. It's not pulling it in. It exists in already in the code base.
It exists inside the testimonial recipe.
That's the difference.
but it's a dependency of the digital agency recipe.
Right.
And that might not have been clear to you, and I don't think it was clear to me at the time. The only reason, it just so happened that last night I tried to do something which I'd never tried before, which was I tried to enable the digital agency recipe without any sample content, and it didn't work.
Sorry,
And I'm-
so are you saying that from another module you're requiring a sub-module of another
Yes.
module?
Yes.
That's kind of unorthodox though, because the namespace that you can call a dependency on is the parent module, not the sub-module.
Okay.
So we don't have any
Well,
knowledge.
but it works. The
I
thing is,
think
it works.
you have a
It totally
way
works.
to.
Go ahead.
I think the recommended way of doing a dependency of a submodule is parent module colon
Right.
then submodule.
Yep. Yes, you're right. In the
Actually,
.info file, you can specify the submodule, so you can specify the parent project.
let's see if I'm doing that. I'm not sure.
Because as well, you could have it in theory, you could have submodules that have the same name as a submodule on a different project.
And you need to be explicit which one you, yeah.
Yeah, I just had a brain freeze. Okay, we'll just go here and then go to the project page and look at the .info file and see how I did it. No, it looks like I did do it the right way.
Right.
So but I'm still getting that. So, I mean, again, it is working. Okay. Like if I enable the testimonial recipe without the sample, I can enable that with or without the sample module, and it works fine. The only problem is when I do the digital agency recipe, and these modules are they load, they're required, right? They actually do load like they're supposed to, but they throw that warning.
Can you go back to the issue? Do you mention that
Well, this last little part, I think I just figured out now as we were talking. So I didn't the fact that it was not the parent module that was requiring it. I'm sorry, I'm totally confused. So let's go back. Yes, this is the issue.
All right, so can you scroll to the last comment that you made where you describe the problems? Yep, and there's a screenshot.
Well,
there was a screenshot and you said just
yeah,
right
right
above
here.
that.
Yeah.
There you go.
This was a bad, these are the errors that your PR was throwing.
Right.
Now, it could be your PR didn't work because you didn't understand exactly the use cases.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and read it. Anyways, I don't know if we need to talk about this any further in the meeting.
Yeah, no.
But
And this is
we've
not-
at least
this
sort
is
of
not-
figured out where this is at.
Yeah, this is a bug fix release as well. It doesn't have to be like it's not
Yeah,
bound by the
Exactly. This is a bug fix issue. Yeah.
feature freeze. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. We could just go into the issue queue and look for, should we search for some DX issues and just look by either recently updated or newest? Let's go with,
Yes.
well, if we do recently updated, we're mostly going to see ones that have already been talked about, like this one. That one's been talked about. Improve. This is a really small one, which Greg, I think you and I talked about this way back, and it seems pretty straightforward.
Where are we stuck
Anybody
with the verbosity of the things? Is it? Is that
Well,
what-
the changing people, Nate sort of put the kibosh on changing the title of the link or the page title. He didn't like that. So, but I said at the very minute, so he said originally the page was, was called, we've already changed it from blocks to custom blocks. He seems to be very resistant to changing it again. So I basically said at a very minimum, and for those of you who don't know, maybe looking at this issue for the first time, this is the default page. It says custom blocks, but the only thing it's showing here are custom blocks that have been checked reusable. Is that right?
Yes, that have been made reusable. Yes.
Right. So you might have custom blocks on your site that you have not made reusable. They won't show up here. But that seems very, very confusing because it says custom blocks, add custom block. But there's no indication that not all custom blocks are here. So we had, Greg and I had suggested like changing it to something like reusable custom blocks. Nate seems resistant to that. So at the very minimum, I proposed changing this to be this help text to be a bit more explicit. And I thought I had a screenshot of the. Oh, here it is. And Martin, you've already commented on it. So the current PR just says this page lists all reusable custom blocks. And then it says reusable custom blocks can be shared across multiple layouts and edited in one place. Because the other thing, Greg, you pointed out was that this sounds so much like a warning. And it doesn't really need to be a warning, just make it informational, right?
Yes.
Anyway, so this is a pretty trivial thing. Really just needs a works for me, I think, to get this moving.
Yeah, but this defeats the purpose. Like you have the beginning of that screenshot there. You have the beginning of the like from you. I understand what Nate is saying, but I insist. Like the first sentence there, the small one. This page lists all the reusable custom blocks. Well, why not say that in the title and have a help text? Yeah. Anyways, it's like I don't know. That's why we need more feedback. That's like
yeah. Well, sure. If other people want to jump in, I pretty strongly made my point here, and Nate came back and says, "Well, change the help text." So if anybody else wants to jump on that bandwagon, it does seem really weird to me to have a title that just doesn't reflect
exactly
what's being done, right? So, but I also would rather get the help text fixed than to have it stagnate for years because we can't agree on the title. So,
well, it's not clear to me if Nate has vetoed this, or it's just that because there's only a very few people participating in the discussions, whether we're waiting for more feedback. So I would love people that are involved in UX, mostly like Jen, Martin, Olaf. Yeah, so if they can chime in, just say, Olaf, I see. Sorry, Martin, I see that you have a comment there.
Yeah, the only one that's still here is Martin. Yeah, it looks like Olaf did, and the two people that were here have both chimed in already. So,
right.
We really need other people. Well, although they both chimed in on the approving of the help text. I don't know if nobody else has jumped in to say, hey, shouldn't we be changing the page name? So,
yeah. So I think the things, one of them actually has. Sorry, you were scrolling too fast. I think maybe Martin was saying that I would prefer.
Oh,
there was someone stating a preference that saying scrolling.
Oh, dang it! What did I just do?
I think that you went backwards. Yeah.
All
right. So there's Nate making a comment.
Yeah, this is the first. Oh, Martin, you were struggling to have a strong opinion.
All right.
This is where we got off on a little tangent about quantum blocks, Dr. Strange blocks. Okay. Well, anyways, that's the status of that. We got a few more minutes. Should we see if there's something else? But that, that one is like could trivially get in, but it's also could get into any release. It's not a.
Oh, sorry. Where are we? I see that UX installer revamped the language selection page. Where are we with that? Because we introduced the automatic.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with this issue. Revamp the language selection page.
Oh, that's an old one.
Let's go down and see what. Oh, this popped up.
Yeah.
Because
right.
Olaf.
So Olaf suggested yes.
Should we close this?
Oh
you
no,
wanna-
just let me go through
Okay.
this and make sure that there's not any points that I
Okay.
missed, because that was my first reaction actually before reading Olaf's comment,
Right.
because I saw the title and I said we introduced automatics, sort of like pulling automatic language
Right.
options. So yeah, okay, we can go back to the list then and pick another one.
Okay,
Remove tabs. Yeah, that's what
we
is that?
look for something that this actually has a PR.
Yes.
CK editor allows styles drop down to use tag names. Okay, I don't think this is one I've looked at. Let's jump down and just see what brought this up. Oh, okay, so this is another one that had been dormant, and Quick Sketch just brought it up. Oops, I opened my Zulip. Sorry. There we go. Okay, well,
There was an attempt to try to do this in CK Editor 5. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
yeah. So I don't know if that's a reason to possibly close this. Oh, he removed the pull request.
Yep. Yep. Because things changed. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay, that was the one we just talked about. This is the one we just talked about. Okay. Is this the one we already talked about in the dev meeting, or is this a
No,
different
that's a
one?
separate. That's
Okay,
separate.
what's this one about?
This might go away if we introduce the parent selector.
Okay, let's really quickly jump to the end and see if. Okay, Herb Duel was suggesting that there's at least a connection between them, but it might not. This one might not go away.
Yep.
Okay, well, Greg, it looks like neither you or I have everyone looked at this, so we probably can't talk too much about it.
Yep.
Should we? We'll skip that one for now. Project installer. Okay, this is an old one, but there's no PR. I'm going to look for one that has a PR update.
You can check the PR thing. Like in the sets. I mean in the set, so you can filter everything by the ones that have a PR.
Oh, sure. Okay. But for now, let's just look at this, see where the status of this one is. This is an old one. What was the recent update? Oh, me. It's the current PR. The current PR looks like this. Oh, are you able to push this code so that others could take? Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is pending on me.
It
All right.
looks like you did the original PR.
Yep. So this is one
and
of the things that I need to update. Yeah.
Oh, sure, that probably just needs a rebase at the minimum. Why should we get the newer subtle version of this going? Push this code so others could. Oh, you know what? You did a screenshot and you said, but you never pushed the code.
Right. Okay.
So that's why you did a screenshot and basically people liked your screenshot, but the code isn't there, so we can't even, like.
And I
take it
know,
over.
I know why this might be the case, why I didn't get to push the code, because I might have gotten into a rabbit hole of, how these screens get very narrow, and then the tables just overflow. Yeah. So I think that I might have started working on solving that problem.
Okay.
There's one that moves. See, this is one of the pages that prominently that showcases how much space goes wasted by having the steps on the side. And then I think that I started working on the one that moves the steps at the top of the page horizontally instead of vertically, so we can make enough room. So yes, it must have been one of those rabbit holes that I got myself into. Yeah, I'll see if
Is there a link to that issue? That's probably this one. Create a more
yes,
consistent.
yes.
Should we open up that one? You don't, okay, you do have a PR for that one. Do you remember? Was that one anywhere close to?
Yeah, and I have screenshots as well. Yeah, I think there's one with at the bottom with a round. Yep. So there were things that I wanted to flesh out. I think that I called out for help at some point by Wes and the likes of
Mhm.
people in UX.
Okay, well. Yeah, I just commented, Design UX open. Okay, so this is back in August. So I think we need a sandbox for people to, so at the very minimum, if you could rebase this,
Yep.
although it might require more work than that, but at the minimum, if you rebased it, we could at least talk about the existing PR. But I'm sure this PR is no longer functional, right? This was.
Yeah, it won't. Yeah, it needs a rebase.
Yeah. Well, November of 2023. Okay, well, we've taken up pretty much an hour. I think these last two would be ones that might be, or I don't know about this wizard, that might be too ambitious to get done, but if you wanted to at least get that other one done first, because I don't think I can see why you would want to do this one first, but I don't think the other one is, this one is dependent on that one.
Yeah.
Oh.
At least we can remove the warnings and have them in a consistent style. Oh, I know now. It's not just that rabbit hole. It's two rabbit holes there.
Okay.
The CSS that we are using here is basically duplicating things that we are doing in the status page, in the status report page. So there was some CSS consolidation that I was working on as well.
Okay.
Right. So memories start coming.
Okay.
All right.
Well, well, tell you what, actually, hang on for a minute, but let's go ahead and end the meeting.
Yes.
Okay, thanks everybody that was here. We talked about a few issues. Maybe we'll see some progress. I'm gonna end the recording if I can find the button.